Hello, my name is Laura Islas Flores, and this is reality assignment number 9. And for this reality assignment, I need to interview a middle adulthood person that is between the 40s and the 65 years old. For this reality assignment, I will interview my father, that he's a 45-year-old, but he don't speak English fluently, so I decide to ask him the questions in English, and then he will answer me in Spanish, and then I will translate. Okay, this is the interview guide. So for the first question, it says, 1. What is the best part about your current stage of life, and what is the worst? ¿Cuál es tu parte, la mejor parte de tu vida en este estado que tienes, y la peor?
Pues la mejor parte de mi vida es ahorita que estoy ya un poquito que mis hijos han crecido, y la peor parte de mi vida ha sido, bueno, la peor parte en este momento es que de alguna forma ya no tengo la mayor autoridad sobre de ellas.
Okay, his answer is that the best part of his stage right now is that his children are grown up, and the worst part is that some of the things that he's saying to them to do, they not doing it because they're more independent. Okay, for the second question, it says, how you change since you were in your 20s and 30s, physical, cognitively, and emotionally. ¿Cómo ha cambiado tu vida entre los 20 y 30 años, física, intelectualmente y emocionalmente?
En esas fechas, pues ha cambiado mi aspecto físico entre las fechas que comentabas. Cambia mi estado también mental, también cambia, porque tienes diferentes tipos de decisiones, y pues y en el estado emocional pues también sufre un cambio, todo tiene un cambio.
Okay, he's saying that during these years, on the 20s and 30s, physically he has changed on their body on the physical way, and the cognitive, it says that it is different now because they have right now they have different decisions, so they have to have the intellectual to know how to resolve them. And emotionally, he said that it changed over the years also because he cares about so much stuff that it wasn't before. For the third one, it says, do you consider yourself to be old? In your opinion, what makes someone old? Okay, en la tercera dice, ¿consideras tú ser una persona mayor? Y la siguiente pregunta es, ¿para ti qué es una persona mayor?
No me considero todavía una persona mayor. Yo creo que estoy en una edad promedio en que estás a mitad de tu vida, y yo considero a una persona mayor o de edad adulta cuando esta persona ya en muchas de sus actividades requiere de la ayuda de una segunda persona o de terceras personas.
Okay, his answer is that he don't consider himself to be an old person because he considers himself of being in the middle. He said that when he considers a people that is old is when they are dependent on somebody else. For example, when you're older and you need somebody else to take care of you, that's when he considers someone to be old. For the fourth question, it says, how your properties change. No, I'm sorry. How your priorities changed over the past 20 years. La cuarta pregunta es, ¿cómo han cambiado tus prioridades hace 20 años atrás? ¿Cómo han cambiado tus prioridades?
Pues mis prioridades han cambiado en el sentido en que cuando estaba yo en una edad entre los 20 y los 30 años de edad, mis prioridades eran tener, no sé, un hogar, darle educación a mis hijas, darles lo económico que nos hice falta en casa. ¿Qué es lo que ha cambiado en prioridades hasta este momento? En que ahorita muchas de las prioridades que yo tengo es ya empezar a cuidarme, en un proceso de cuidarme yo personalmente, y de alguna forma también una prioridad es en lo poco que puedo en apoyar a mis hijas también.
Okay, his answer is that before, between the 20s and the 30s, his priorities were to take care of their home, to take care of their children, and that was their priorities. But over the years have changed because he considered right now to be more important of taking care of himself, and also because he's growing up. And the other thing is that the he considered another priority right now is just to help a little bit on their children's, because now they are more independent and grow up, so they don't need him, no, like not anymore like as before. So that's how his priorities have changed. For the sixth question, it says, do you have children, and if so, in what ways have you changed as a result of being a parent? How has your relationship with your children changed over the years? Okay, la sexta pregunta dice, ¿tienes hijos?
Sí, sí tengo hijos.
Okay, si sí tienes hijos, ¿cómo ha cambiado tu aspecto por ser papá ahora, por ser padre ahora? ¿Cómo ha cambiado lo que haces? Ajá, ¿cómo piensas? ¿En qué ha cambiado
Pues
después de tener hijos?
mi vida ha cambiado, cambia en toda persona, automáticamente en el sentido de que cuando no tienes hijos, pues tu vida personal es un poquito más desahogada. A medida de que van naciendo tus hijos o tiendes a tener hijos, la responsabilidad de que ellos los provees de todo, tanto cosas materiales como alimentación para ellos, entonces tus prioridades van cambiando, o sea, sí cambia. Entonces es una gran diferencia entre sí y no tener hijos. Cambia en su totalidad.
Ok, dice, ¿cómo ha cambiado la relación con tus hijos?
Ha cambiado la relación en mis hijos en que a medida de que ellos, en un periodo, en un proceso de entre los 20 y los 30, yo todavía podía tomar decisiones por ellos. Podía decirles, haz esto, no hagas esto, necesito que te pongas esto. E incluso en alimentación y darles un gusto, uno es el que todavía uno decide propiamente por ellos. Cambia hasta este momento en que ellos ya son unos adultos, cambia porque ya la mayoría de las decisiones que ellos toman, pues ya no está ciertamente facultada en tu autoridad, ¿no? En la autoridad que yo pudiera tener sobre ellas. Ya ellos toman sus propias decisiones, sus propias convicciones, lo que a ellos les convenga prioritariamente.
Okay, his answer is that he has children, and he said that as a result of this, he has changed over that. Now he has more priorities over the children. For example, being required to help them on the nurturing and all that he has to be all the time with them, and that he has to require to be like more responsible for them, because now he has children. And he said that the relationship with their children has changed also, because he said that before he used to, because their children were little, he used to being able to tell them what to do and what not to do. But now, because these years have happened and they have getting older, now he don't have the same, like the kids are not more dependent for him, so he cannot say to them what to do or what cannot do. It's not like as before. That's the only way they have changed on the relationship. So that was the interview. So thank you. Hello, this is the reflection. So for the first question, it says, briefly summarize your interview experience and share your general impression about it. Okay, my experience of the interview, it was pretty interesting because I learned new things that a person during this stage passes, and how they change over the years, physically and cognitive and emotionally also. So that was my first impression of how I see over the interview. But the second one, it says, according to Erickson, what does the interview existing along the generative and stagnation continue? Okay. For the generative versus stagnation continue, this is in a stage that takes place between the 40s and the 65 years old of a person. And this is people experience the need of create or nurture things that will outlast them. So during the interview, I think that this take place when he was talking about that his priorities was to nurture his kids and taking care of them, because I believe that is because he feels responsible of them, and that he feels that he need to provide for them. So I guess that's when this theory exists during their interview. For the third one, it says, what information from the interview support the use of fluid versus crystallized intelligence, and how do you know this? Okay, the fluid intelligence is defined as the ability to solve new problems. For example, when you're using the logic, when you don't know, like when you're new to the problem and you just use the logic to respond the problem. And the crystallized intelligence is defined as the ability to use the learn and knowledge and experience to resolve the problem. So the fluent intelligence, I guess this take place during the interview when he states that during the 20s and 30s, when he start having kids and children, he was unknown. I believe it was during this part, because he was unknown of how to take care of a children, of a kid, and he has to use this fluid and use the logic to start knowing how to provide or how to nurture a kid. And when it uses the crystallized intelligence, it was I guess when he answer the question, when it says that he needs to give an advice to a younger adulthood person, to prepare them to the middle adulthood stage. So I believe it was this part, because he has to use his previous experience over his years, the type of decisions he have made to being where he is. So for example, if he knows when he knows that he's doing something wrong, now if he sees the other person that is younger doing the same thing as him, he will be more able to know what will happen, what will be the consequences of those actions. So I believe that was one crystallized intelligence that take place during the interview when he was using his experience knowledge to answer what type of device he will give to and I'm so sorry to a younger person. uh, that's question number 3. So for question number 4, it says, did the interview provide any information supporting or refuting the midlife crisis? So first of all, the midlife crisis is a crisis that is transition of identifying and self-confidence that can occur in the middle-aged individuals. Some individuals may experience feelings and depressions. So this is basically caused because they feel like all their dreams, we can say dreams or goals that they have like on the younger age, they never accomplish it. So they start feeling like, what I did with my life. So I guess for this interview for my father, he has refuted this middle life crisis, because he told me that he answers that he don't feel old. I guess that's one of the things that I believe that some of them start feeling crisis over that, because they feel like they aging. So they feel like they getting older, and sometimes they like taking care of their physical appearance. So he answered me that he don't feel old, and he says that for him, feeling old is when you're dependent of somebody else to take care of you. So that's one of the things that I believe he's not like on the midlife crisis. Another thing is that he said that he feels like he accomplished everything that he wants to. So, and this is because of that he did his goals. For example, he went to college and he graduated, and so he was a technician. So he said that he feels really he don't feel like he didn't do like all his goals. So I think he refused to the middle life crisis. And for the last one, it says, which theory seems most applicable to the information you learn from the interviewing about your development at this stage? Okay, the theory that I choose, it was the I'm so sorry. It was the informational processing theory, and the reason for that is because this theory basically is like the human made. It's like a computer information processor. Like when you input something and you like, how can I say, you processing, and then you, because of the processing, you output something. That's how, yeah, output. So basically, the knowledge that you get in, you will be able to process the things or the problems or the situations, and with that resolve it, or just response to that. So I choose this one because I guess all the interview was over how my father was he was experienced over the years, how when he started having kids, the different type of changes that he has, and it was something that he has taken process that he was learning from a lot of things. Then when he does it, that is like when he does something, that's like the input. Then he processing the things, and then he will like respond to that. So I think it was that. And the thing is that my father, he said that when he started having the changes between the 20s and the 30s until now, the different priorities that he has, that right now, I mean, I'm sorry, between the 30s and the 20s, when I was a little kid and my sister, she was more little, we were more like younger, his priorities was more over us. But now that I'm married, he's not too much priorities over us because he knows that we're not so dependent on us. So this is like a kind of process of the theory. So that's why I choose this